the one you automatically put in front. Try and balance ourselves out. And then let's just bring the hands to the heart, start this morning. So when you bring your hands to your heart, just keep the elbows relaxed down. Don't need to squeeze. Just rest the thumbs towards the heart center. Feeling long through the back of the spine, long through the back of the neck, closing the eyes unless it feels uncomfortable to do so. So just turning inward for a moment. Becoming aware of the breath, not trying to do anything with it at the moment, just watching the breath come in and out. Feeling the sitting bones sinking into the mat. And then we're going to start making some circles with the arms, but see if you can keep your eyes shut, because we do rely a lot on our eyes. It's very simple, so you don't really need to watch me. So just as you inhale, sweep the arms up and wide until they meet above the crown of the head. And then exhale, draw them back down to the heart. You can feel your hands as they move past the face down to the heart center. And again, inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, draw down. One more time, inhale. Exhale, draw down. Hands resting at the heart center again. And just bowing the head a little bit. So you're lengthening through the back of the neck. Bow the head towards the hands. Take a breath there. And then lifting the head back up, relaxing the hands down onto your lap. You can open the eyes now. And then we're just going to start by making circles with the rib cage over the hips. You haven't done this in a while, but this is a birthday mashup today. Just things that feel good. So just circling the rib cage over the base of the pelvis. So it's lengthening the sides of the body, bringing some mobility into the spine as well. Nice and slow. And then change directions next time you get to the middle. So you can inhale as you come forward and the chest leads forward. Exhale, round through the spine as you come back. So nice and slow in time with the breath. And then coming back center. Resting hands lightly on the shoulders. We'll start making some circles with the elbows. Opening the chest. Drawing the elbows together and then the shoulder blades apart. Change directions. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more circle this way. And then relax the hands down. Rolling over onto hands and knees. Hands stretched. See how wide you can stretch your fingers so that you're doing a hand stretch as well. Planting the palms firmly on the mat. And then we're going to make circles with the hips here. So circles with the hips over the knees. So you can start off small. So as you make your circles, you can again stretch through the sides of the body, but also round and arch the lower back as well, and the upper back. So as you press through your hands, you can dome through the shoulders. Now, see if you can make your circles a bit bigger, which means that the bottom's going further over the heels, and also you're leaning more over your hands. So you'll see that you're starting to make circles with the forearms over the wrists as well. So bringing some weight into the hands as you come forward, warming up the wrists, and then stop, come back to center, and then do the same the other direction. So start off with smaller circles. The attention on rounding and arching the back. I was doing a lot of clicking this morning. And then you can start to make the circles bigger, sending the sitting bones over the heels and then rocking forward onto the hands. So a bit more like the strange circles some of us do when we're in labour. So whatever feels good for you, swaying the body. No one's watching, so it doesn't matter what you look like. Doesn't matter what you look like anyway, to be honest. Good, and then coming back to centre. So we're going to step the right foot between the hands straight away this morning, and then just wiggle the toes a bit further forward than usual. And we're just going to do a dynamic stretch forward and backwards here. So lean the weight forward, hips descending towards the mat, and then sending the weight back, lifting the heels, so stretching through the back of the leg. So you don't need to straighten the front of the leg. So we're just going to rock backwards and forwards in your own time. So as you draw the toes towards you, up to you how straight the leg goes, just so you can feel you're taking it to the edge of the stretch for you. So rocking backwards and forwards. Nice, gentle, continuous, dynamic movement. Easing into the stretch. And then next time you rock forward, bring the knee back and change legs. So left leg forward and then just walk the toes a bit further forward to give you space. And then rocking forward and rocking back. So as you rock back, just remember to try and draw the left hip back in line with the right. So nice and easy, just creating some warmth in the muscles, the connective tissue. Taking it as far as is right for you. A couple more like that. Good, and then next time you come forward, coming back onto all fours again. So we're going to come over to the wall now, so just tuck the toes under, press the feet into the mat, come into a forward fold, and then uncurl yourself, coming up standing, head and neck last. So come over to your wall, or well, it sort of needs to be a wall today actually, if you can find a wall. I mean, the back of the sofa will be fine for this first bit, but you'll need a wall later on. So we're just going to, I'll use this wall, I think. We've done this sideways on, I'll take this painting off. So what we're going to do is we're going to do what we do normally with puppy pose, but standing against the wall. We haven't done this for a while. So you're standing with your feet about 1.5 foot away from the wall, but you have maybe a bit more. You have to see what works for you. Just watch me first. So what we're going to do is we're going to descend the chest towards the wall, but leave the sitting bones sticking out behind us. So it's like puppy pose, where you're descending the chest towards the mat, but leaving the hips over the heels. So you should feel that that's a big stretch in the underarms and a stretch across the front of the chest. So your fingertips reaching out the wall and then softening the shoulders away from the ears, softening the shoulder blades, the space between the shoulder blades behind you, and then just descending the chest towards the wall. So that should be a nice big chest opener. And then when you've got there, taking some nice deep breaths. As you exhale, you might be able to sink the chest further towards the wall. So try not, if you've got a really flexible lower back, try not to let go completely of the lower back. Keep control of the lower back, and then it's the upper back which you're softening. If you haven't got a flexible lower back, you don't need to worry about that. Good, one more breath here. And then coming back up to standing. Old yoga teacher Ruth White used to do that all the time, didn't she, Harriet? And then we're going to come on to, you need to get hold of something that's about hip height. So back of a windowsill like this, or back of a chair. So we're going to take it into so we come to a perpendicular angle. So your hips are over your feet again. The hands are resting on something. And we're trying to find length through the spine. So you're tilting your knees, sorry, your knees might be bent. So if you need to bend your knees to be able to tilt the pelvis up and create a flat back, that's absolutely fine. So again, you'll feel a stretch probably through the shoulders, hopefully through the hamstrings. So you're tilting the pelvis up and away, creating length at the top of the legs. If you can straighten your legs, then obviously go ahead and do that. If not, keep that soft bend. And then take a couple of breaths there. Good. And then releasing off carefully, come out of it, release the hands off. Hopefully you found a surface you could do that on. And then come back so you can see me. Good. So we're just going to start testing our balance, coming up onto the toes and then releasing down to the heels. So on an inhale, lift up the hands, come up onto the toes. And then on the exhale, release the hands down again. So really in time with the breath. Inhale, drawing up from the crown of the head, strong through the feet. Exhale, release down. One more time, inhale, feel strong all the way up through the center of the body. Exhale, I think we'll do that one more. Feels good. Inhale, everyone's balancing very well. She says, falling over. Exhale, release down. Good. So coming to the front of the mat, we're just going to start with some standing sequences. So lifting up tall, pressing the floor away with the feet. Bring the hands to prayer. And as you inhale, reach up, get that feeling of lift we just had on our toes. Exhale, bend the knees quite deeply for your first forward fold. Come all the way down, soften through the length of the spine. We're staying here for a couple of breaths. So you can release the hands and you can catch hold behind the calf. Just very, very gently, no forcing, but just using the light pressure of the hands on the back of the calf, draw the head towards the legs. Take a breath there. Okay, so from there, see if you can press the calf actively into the hands. So you're not drawing the body any closer towards you. You're pressing the calf into the hands so that you can feel the back of the legs fire up. So you're using your hands as resistance. Press the calf back and you should feel the top of the legs working, the hamstrings engaging. So as you're lengthening the hamstrings, you're just making them work a little bit to get strength as well as length. And then release off that pressing motion. Just hang into that forward fold. And then as you inhale, lift all the way back up standing. Arms above the head and then hands back to prayer. Good. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold forward again. And this time we're going to come up into flat back. So come into flat back just as you did against the windowsill. So maybe lift the shoulders up a bit higher than you might normally do. Hands very lightly on the shins. So see if you can tilt the sitting bones away just as you did when you were against the windowsill so that you can feel that stretch to the back of the top of the legs. And then folding all the way forward again. Inhale, stretch up, reach up, look up. Exhale, hands to prayer. Okay, so bring the feet a little bit closer together now because we're going to come into chair pose in the next one. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, bend the knees deeply, sweep the hands down and round, graze the fingertips on the floor, sit back into chair pose. So send your bottom backwards. If you've got a tendency to arch through the lower back, tuck that tailbone under. So you feel like you're scooping up and under through the front of the body. Excellent. Bring the hands to prayer. Turn to the left, so right elbow comes onto left knee. So we'll take a twist here. So see if you can keep the hips relatively parallel, so one knee is not jutting forward more than the other. Use the elbow lightly on the leg to open the chest towards the side of the room. Nice twist. Inhale, exhale, Mariette's rabbits on the mat. And then fold forward, exhale. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to prayer. So we'll do that on the other side. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, sit back. Chair pose on the other side. Hands reaching up, chest lifted, tummy scooping up and under. And then hands to prayer, turn to the right. Left elbow to right knee. Keep sitting back into the chair. Use that elbow lightly to twist to the other side. Inhale, exhale there. And then exhale, fold forward. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, hands to prayer. And release the hands all the way down either side of the body, standing in mountain posture. Excellent. So you can bring our feet hip width apart again. Hands to prayer. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward, waterfalling your spine, hanging from the hips. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step the right foot back. So we're going to step the right foot back a bit closer than usual so that you can turn the foot at 45 degrees and have the heel on the floor. Keep the front leg bent, a little bit bent to start with. And then just as we were rocking forward and back last time, we're going to rock forward and back so the front leg is straightening, not necessarily coming to straight and then bending again. So when you bend the knee, it doesn't matter if the back heel comes off of it. So just mobilizing through the hamstring of the left leg. So straightening and bending just to where the point where you feel a nice stretch in the top of the hamstring, the left hamstring. Couple more times, just rocking backwards and forwards. Good. And then on your next one, step the left foot back, coming into downward facing dog. So bend both knees quite deeply. Imagine that you're still leaning against the wall like we did at the beginning, just sending the chest towards the mat. So you feel that stretch through the shoulders. Your arms are active, hands are active. Send the tailbone away. Bend the knees even more deeply. And then straighten the knees towards straight. So you feel that the heels are heavy, releasing down to the mat. Bend the knees deeply. And then draw the top of the back of the thighs back. Bend deeply. And heels heavy towards straight. Good. And then step the right foot between the hands. Bring the left foot in a bit. Turn the toes out at 45 degrees. And we're going to rock backwards and forwards here. Same as we did on the other side. So you're bending and then straightening the right leg. Or towards straight. It doesn't have to be straight, just so you can get interesting for your hamstring. So in your own time, rocking backwards and forwards, gentle with yourself, warming up through that hamstring. One more this side. And then bending, and you're going to step the left foot in to join the right. Forward fold, inhale, reach up. And hands to prayer. Good. Inhale, stretch up again. Exhale, fold forwards. Relax the spine, relax the neck. Inhale, come up, flat back. Exhale, step the right leg back, coming into a high lunge. So both legs strong, both feet pressing into the mat. Use that strength to lift the torso up. So engaging the right buttock, as well as the left thigh. And from here, we're going to interlace the fingers behind us. If that's too much, you can always hold on to the elbows. So you're drawing the shoulder blades together and the shoulders away from the ears. So you're sending the hands down behind you. Lovely. So from here, we're going to fold forward into humble warrior. So hinge from the top of the leg. The legs both stay strong, they're not flopping down. To your thigh, your chest is coming towards that front leg, the hands are coming away from the back, maybe not much, or you might still be holding onto your elbows. And then inhale, press with the front foot to lift back up, release the hands and lift them above the head. Shoulders drawing down, fingertips lifting, legs firm. Inhale, exhale here. And then hands either side of the foot. Step back, downward facing dog. So just as we did before, bend the knees quite deeply. Relax the chest towards the mat. And then feel like the back of the thighs are lifting and pressing away. The heels are heavy. Bend the knees again. And then lift the sitting bones. Heavy heels. One more time. Bend the knees. And straighten the knees. Good. And then come forward into plank. Heels stretching away, crown of the head stretching away. Feel a slight doming across the top of the back. Knees to the mat. Chest and chin to the mat. Exhale as you come down. All the way onto your belly. So we're going to come into locust. So you're going to stretch the hands behind you, palms face down. Peel the chest off the mat, shoulders rolling together. And then we're going to stretch the legs really long, lift the legs away. And just to make the hamstrings work, middle of the hamstrings work, see if you can draw the heels together. They might not come together, but you have to squeeze the buttocks to do that. And then release off, hands either side of the chest. Press back up to downward facing dog. Inhale, exhale there. And then stepping the right foot forward. Left foot follows. Forward fold. Inhale, press with the feet, lift. Stretching up and hands to prayer. Same on the other side. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, use the back. Lift yourself up to flat back. Exhale, step the left leg back and find your high lunge foundations. Press with the feet to lift the torso up, hands on your hips to start with. So backside lifting, good. Weight sinking down between the feet. And then interlacing the fingers the unusual way or holding the elbows again. Stretching the arms away, feeling the chest open, shoulder blades come together behind you. And then hinging carefully forwards, pressing with both feet into the floor to support you. So you're trying to creep length through the spine, crown of the head reaching forward. Maybe hands coming away from the back. Pressing with the feet, lifting back up. Releasing the hands, bring them above the head, shoulders drawing down, chest lifted. Inhale, exhale there. Hands either side of the feet. Step back, downward facing dog. So tailbone lifting, arms active, pressing. So it's almost like you're stretching the mat, hands stretching forward, heels heavy. Inhale to plank, draw the belly in. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, all the way to the floor. Curling the chest off the mat, hands reaching back, legs long, coming back up into locust. Squeeze the bottom, draw the heels towards each other. And then pressing the hands again either side of the chest, lifting back up. Downward facing dog. Inhale, exhale. Stepping the left foot forward this time. Right foot follows, forward fold. So staying there for a couple of breaths. You can catch hold lightly behind the shins again, very lightly. Knees might still be bent, might still be quite deeply bent, as much as you need to release off through the spine. And then we're just going to press the calves into the hands again like we did before. Press the calves into the hands so you can feel the top of the legs working, top of the back of the legs. Keep the head relaxed, neck relaxed. Keep pressing for a few more seconds. And then release off. Relax down. So bend the knees, you're just going to step the left leg back. Turn to face the long side of your mat. So you're in forward fold. So your toes are pointing forward. And your feet are firmly planted into the mat, inner edges of the feet and the outer edges of the feet. And then walk the hands forward so that you're up on fingertips. So you'll really want to feel that the feet are heavy. It's almost like you're standing on scales and are trying to make yourself heavier on the scale. So the feet are really planted firmly into the mat. Weight evenly between the ball of the foot and the heels. And then you're drawing the crown of the head forward. So you're trying to find length through the spine and you're sending your sitting bones away behind you. So even here, you should be feeling a stretch through the back of the legs. Keep pressing the feet into the floor. And then you can release down. So forward down from here. Nothing else changes in the legs, but you're just softening all the way down now. Letting the head be heavy, hanging down between the legs. So your hands are resting on the floor, fingertips facing forwards. Or you might still be up on fingertips, it doesn't matter which. Good. And then turning all the way back to the front edge of your mat. Hands either side of the feet. Set that back leg back in again, fold forwards. Inhale, reach up, look up, lift up. And hands back to prayer. Just release the hands down, either side of the body, find mountain pose again. Feeling tall, calm, powerful. Inhale, exhale there. Good, bring the hands to prayer. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Losing my voice. Exhale, step the right leg back. Come up into high lunge again. So just back where we started on the other side. Hands on the hips. And then inhale, sweep the arms up. Chest lift, sinking down. Protecting the lower back, keeping the tailbone tucked under. So from here, we're going to push off with the right leg and draw the right knee up towards the chest. I'll just give you time to follow. So we've done this one before. We're going to step back and then we're going to lift up to here. So we're using the belly to lift the knee up here. And then very slow motion, bend the front knee, bend the supporting leg, and then see how slowly you can step back into that high lunge. Land. Good. So we're going to do this a few more times in your own time. So push off with the back leg. Use the tummy muscles, draw that knee in, hands come to prayer. And then rather than make it easier for yourself and stepping back quickly, bend the front leg, reach back with that right leg and land, big step backwards. Good, so we'll do two more like that. Take your time. Slow motion step back. And then one more. Draw the knee in. And step back. That's got me warm. Stepping back. So you're landing back in your high lunge. Hands on the side of the feet. Step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, exhale there. Inhale to plank. Exhaling at knee, chest, chin, or chaturanga all the way down. And then coming back into locust. Hands reaching back, legs long, bottom squeezed. And then hands either side of the chest to push back up, downward facing dog. And then either step right foot forward and then left, or if you want to this time, you can hop the feet between the hands. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, reach all the way up. Tall, press through the feet, lift through the hands, hands to prayer. Inhale, exhale, just get your breath back. Let the heart rate settle before we go into the other side. So inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, flat back. Length through the spine. Exhale, left leg goes back. High lunge. Press with the feet. Find your foundation with the hands on the hips. And then reaching the arms up. And preparing to do that leg lift sequence again. So when you're ready, it's easy if you bend the back knee, give yourself a little push off. Draw the left knee in. And then nice and slow, bend the supporting leg, send the leg back to land. Inhale when you're ready. So in your own time now, we're going to do 4 more. Nice and slow. Keeping control. 2 more. Oops. 1 more. And then when you land back after your last one in high lunge, pausing there for a breath, and then hands either side of the foot. Step back, downward facing dog again. Take a breath there. Inhale, plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, locust. Exhale, push all the way back this time to child's pose. So bottom comes to heels, arms reaching forward, forehead on the mat. Feel the tailbone heavy. Nice deep breath into the back of the body. Good. Coming back up onto all fours, tucking the toes under, downward facing dog. And then step left foot forward and right foot forward this time, or popping the feet forward, forward fold. Inhale, reach up. And on, hands to prayer. And release the hands down, standing tall. Shoulders relax down, back of the head, back of the neck long. Good. So our last sequence is going to be the one where we do half moon pose. So you'll need your block handy if you normally use a block for Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. So we'll come into warrior, and then from there we'll come into half moon pose. Good. So feet hip width apart, come back to the front of your mat when you've got your block set up. Bring the hands to prayer. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look up, flat back. Exhale, step the right leg back. Ground the right heel across the mat. And then whirl your way up into warrior. I'll try not to get confused about the sides this time. So shoulders relaxed down, chest lifted, bending front knee so that your knees tracking over the toes. Don't forget the right leg as well. So the floor, foot's connected with the floor. Good. So we're going to come into reverse warrior to start with. Hand resting lightly on the leg, length through the left side of the body. Take a breath there. And then come back up. And then you're going to drop your right hand onto your right hip. Take a big step in with the right foot. And then bravely reach towards your landing point on your block or the floor. So hand on the hip to start with. Outstretched leg, straight and strong. Toes pointing away, or the ball of the foot pointing away. And then once you've got there, see if you can rotate the chest towards the front of the room. And only then, see if you can lift the arm up. Push the floor away with the supporting leg. Good. And then floating back down, bend the front knee. Float back down if you can, all the way back into warrior. Well done. And then rotating towards the front of the mat, hands either side of the feet, foot, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, exhale there. Inhale, plank. Exhale, slow chaturanga, or knees, chest, chin. Coming all the way down to the floor. We'll just take cobra this time, small cobra, roll the shoulders back. And then coming back up, downward facing dog. Inhale, exhale. Jumping the feet between the hands. Folding forward. Inhale, stretch up, reach up. Look up. And hands to prayer. So taking that on the other side. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, flat back, long through the spine. Exhale, left leg steps back. Bring yourself up into warrior on the other side. Nice deep breaths. Shoulders relaxed. You can come down a bit low, we're not staying here very long. Both feet pressing into the mat. And then tilting yourself into reverse warrior. Length through the side of the body. Take a breath there. And coming back up again. So left hand on left hip. Get your block of your arm extension if you need it. Big step in, aim for that point on the floor, about maybe a foot away from the foot. Foot away from the foot. Try not to lean too heavily on your block, because eventually one day we'll be doing this without leaning on anything. Holding onto our shin. I think I've done it once in my life. And then gently turning the chest towards the front of the room. Keep working that out at the outer edges of the uplifted leg. And then if you manage to rotate the chest, you may be lifting the top arm as well. Belly drawn in, strong through the supporting leg. And then float back down to land. Ta-da! Beautiful. And then rotate towards the front of the mat. Step the foot back. Downward facing dog. Inhaling, exhaling here, having a nice rest. Arms still active, sitting bones still lifted away. Inhaling, exhaling deeply. Inhale, inhale, come to plank. Exhale, chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Slow motion. And this time, resting down onto the mat. You can put your hands by the side of the body if you want. Turn your head to one side. Totally let go. Sunbathing on the beach. Inhale, exhale. Let go in the lower back. So we're just going to stretch through the front of the legs while we're lying here on the floor. So if you bend your left leg in, catch hold of the left leg with the left hand. You might want to turn your forward face forward on the floor if that feels more comfortable than having your head on one side. And we're just going to squeeze the heel towards the bottom. So for some of you that's hard, some of you not so hard. If that doesn't feel much of a stretch, you can press the pelvis into the mat, lengthen the front of the leg to bring you more deeply into the stretch. And then release the leg away. Change sides. If you've got your head on one side, turn it to the other side. Draw the leg in towards the bottom. Catch hold of the outer edge of the top of the foot. Squeeze the heel in towards the bottom. Press the pelvis into the floor. Lengthen through the front of the leg. Good. And relax that down again. Turn the forward face forward. Hands either side of the chest. Press your way up into all fours. Tuck the toes under. Keep going backwards till you're on your tippy toes. Not your tippy toes, the ball of your feet, and then come into a forward fold. So you should feel that hopefully your hamstrings are a bit longer than they were at the beginning of the class. So bend the knees now, rolling your way up, standing. Shoulders and neck coming up last. So we'll just finish with a balance. Finish the standing section with a balance. So we're going to do our old favorite, my old favorite anyway, which is the tree pose. So ground the right foot into the mat. Sorry, ground the left foot into the mat. Lift the right foot up to the inside of the shin or the thigh. Pressing the knee away. Strong through the supporting leg. Bring the hands to prayer. Good. And then reaching the arms up and striking whatever pose you feel like with the hands. Keeping the right knee pressed out towards the side. Belly drawn in. Good. And coming back down. Releasing off and changing to the other side. So really ground the supporting foot, spread the toes. Bring the left foot to the inside of the thigh, or the shin. Press the knee out to the side. Hands resting on the middle of the chest. Right, so if you find tree pose quite easy, you can try doing it with your eyes shut. And then extend the hands towards the ceiling. Oh, God. Good. One more breath here. And then coming back down. Hands to prayer. Releasing the hands down. Enjoying that sensation of standing up, tall, drawn up to the center of the body, crown of the head lifting towards the ceiling. Inhaling, exhaling. Good. And then we're going to come down to a squat. So bring your feet mat width apart, bottom coming down low. If you can get your heels on the floor, that's great. If you can't, don't worry about it. But just you can experiment to see if bringing the feet wider helps. And then we're just going to do a little twist here that we haven't done before. So if you stretch your right arm out just to the side, so your elbows resting against the inner leg, and then turn towards the left, lift the left arm up. Just be gentle, it's quite a big twist. So you're twisting from the chest. Good. Come back to center, change sides, so the left arm stretched out, resting on the floor. Turn from the waist, lifting up the right arm. And then coming back center, hands together in front of you, lift the chest, use the elbows to encourage the inner thighs back. And then coming all the way down to the floor. Good. So we're going to stretch the right leg out, tuck the left leg in. So doing tree pose with the legs on the floor. And we're going to come into a forward fold. But like we did a couple of weeks ago, I want you to slightly bend the right knee as it extends. And feel like you're pressing the heel into the floor and a little bit towards you. So just as we were doing in that forward fold, you're creating a bit of activity at the back of the leg. So you're stretching the hamstring, but also engaging it. So keeping that activity in the back of the leg, pressing the heel into the mat. You don't have to overdo it, just a very light press will do it. And then hinging forward over that leg. So it's a forward fold, but with work in the back of the leg. So keep the inner edges of that outstretched leg long, so you're not stickling the ankle in. And just see where your body will go. Inhaling, exhaling. Keep pressing the heel in and drawing it towards you a little bit, as if you're trying to draw the mat in towards you. Maybe that will give you some space to release further into forward fold. And then coming back up. Well done. Changing legs. Left leg extended, right leg in. Bend the left knee. Just a little bend, or a big bend if that feels better. And then activating the back of the leg by pressing the heel into the mat, drawing it towards you a little bit. Try and keep the back long as you fold forward. Doesn't have to be straight, but feel like you've got length through the spine up towards the crown of the head. So keep pressing the heel, keep drawing it towards you. Deep breath in. Exhale to release. So it's kind of counterintuitive this. If you activate the muscle as it's extended, you can actually create strength, obviously, in the muscle, but also maybe a bit more space in the stretch. One more breath here. And then coming back up. Bring both legs out in front of you now. Give a little shake. And then just bring the hands behind you so they're resting in line with the bottom, fingertips facing forward. Press through the hands, lift through the chest. So the shoulder blades are squeezing together behind you. Arm and shoulders are rolling back and down. Lift the chest. Good. And then bending the knees again. We're going to forward fold with both legs with both knees bent. So I'm just going to shuffle my bottom forward. I feel that gives me more space. So just as we were doing in the standing forward fold, you're lightly pressing both heels down, bent knees, drawing the chest forward, back long. I think it's harder to do this with both heels pressing down, but just see how that feels. So keep that bend in the knees so you're not bringing any pressure into the lower back. Inhale, exhale. And uncurl, come back up to sitting. Straighten the knees now. So if you find it easier to sit upright, you might do. Inhaling, exhaling, good. So we're going to finish with a twist. So from there, we're going to cross the right foot over the left leg. So the foot's flat on the floor. Left leg's sort of extended out along the mat. And then turning towards that right leg, wrapping the left elbow over the right knee. Turning towards the right, using the right hand to support the back. Nice and tall, all the way from the pelvis, lifting up between the shoulder blades, and then turning the head last. Breathe when you get there. Can feel a bit constricted in a twist, so see if you can still fully inflate the lungs, and as you exhale them, maybe come into the twist a bit more. And then release back to center. Change legs. Cross the left leg over, flat on the floor, right leg extended. Nice deep breath in. Exhale, turning to the other side. Using the elbow, hug the knee in, encourage you into the twist. So your chest still feels wide like it did just now when we had our hands behind us. Spine stays tall, use the hand behind to support you. Inhaling deeply, even though it might be, the lungs might feel a bit more restricted. Exhaling, softening into the twist. Head goes last. And then come back to center. And so we're just going to take a really relaxed forward fold now to soften the spine. So bring your feet really wide, knees bent. So your armpits are kind of resting on the knees. And then relax the head down, soften the whole spine. So really let go of the weight of the head. Good, and then uncurl, come back up to sitting. I'm just going to be a bit mean now and finish with a little short belly exercise. So we're going to see if we can stay on our sitting bones and come into boat pose. So you need to draw in with the belly, extend the legs up. I can only do mine about 90 degrees without, otherwise my belly doesn't work. And then rock onto your right buttock. Keep the hands facing forward, knees back center. Rock onto your left buttock. Keep drawing the belly in, so you keep that V shape. And over to the right, and back again. Draw the belly in, over to the left. Draw the belly in. If you're much stronger than me, you might have your legs straight. One more each side. Back to the center, and to the left. Back to the center. And release. Might need that forward fold again. Forward fold, just a couple of moments. Inhale, exhale. And then come back up. And we're going to come into final relaxation. So as I said at the beginning of the class, either do a normal relaxation on the floor, but if you fancy doing legs up against the wall and you've got a wall that's available, it can be really nice for a change to do your relaxation with the legs up the wall. And it's good to get the blood flow down from your legs into your heart, your brain, and then it sort of stimulates the blood flow back into the legs. So if you are going to do legs against the wall, if you've got a wall you can do it with, you have to kind of shuffle your bottom really close to the wall first, and then skew yourself round so that your bottom's resting against the wall and the feet are extended up the wall, just feet about hip width apart as usual. arms away from the body, shoulders relaxing down towards the mat. So if your legs are at the wall, just find a place for your heels where you feel like you're not having to hold the legs up. So soften. Once you've found that point of balance, let go of the leg muscles. So everybody, make sure your neck is nice and long on the mat. The chin slightly tucked in, shoulder blades wide and soft behind you. So just letting go of everything that's gone before. Letting go of any anticipation of what's going next, coming next. Soften the eyes back into their sockets. And turn the gaze to the space between the eyes, looking out to the back of the forehead. To hit the wide blue screen. With every exhalation, feel the body sink further into the mat. The soft tissue relaxing away from your bones. Maybe finding a point at the end of each exhalation when there's absolute stillness in the body before you need to inhale again. If your mind wanders, you can bring it back to that inner gaze. So deliberately taking a couple of really deep breaths now. Bringing more oxygen into the body. Starting to move. If your legs are up on the wall, just bring them down carefully. Easiest way to do it is rolling onto the side. Bring the knees in. Give yourself a moment on your side before you bring yourself up to sitting. If you're against the wall, you can stay against the wall so that your back's supported. Come back to sitting. And we'll finish with a Om together. Bring your hands to your heart. Inhale deeply. Om. Om. Okay.